My exchange started on the 6th of January in Adelaide, where my roommate and I left our family and friends to begin an adventure of a lifetime. We were lucky enough to spend 2 days in Los Angeles before coming to Clemson. In a short time we were able to see the Lakers play a nice hockey game as well as taking a tour of Beverly Hills. We flew into Greenville and arrived at Clemson the following day. I did not know what I had got myself into, leaving an Australian summer behind, coming to a cold, snowy Clemson. My roommate and I caught a cab from Greenville to Clemson and arrived in a virtual ghost town. We walked into our apartment, which literally had nothing in it besides a futon, which was left from the last semester. The snow cancelled our classes for the first week, which meant we had a lot of downtime on our hands, and what better way to fill it than meeting with our neighbours. We live in Calhoun Courts, where all the international exchange students live. The first week I met more foreigners than I did Americans. Our first week included my first trip to Walmart, a beer pong competition, and a visit to Cracker Barrel, home of Southern food. The first few weeks I didn't travel anywhere. I was trying to explore Clemson and the Southern culture. After going to my first Clemson basketball game, I soon learned that Clemson is sports mad. Even though there was so much going on, I still feel a bit homesick. And what better way to get over that than celebrate Australia Day in the US with the entire cultural exchange community? 5 Aussies, myself, Reese, Eliza, Andrew and Alex, put on an Australian traditional barbecue with some other Australian native food. My roommate and I are lucky enough to have 5-day weekends, so we thought it was time to make the most of our experience here and we bought a car. Our first trip away from Clemson saw us travel to Nashville, home to country music and of course Elvis. Fireworks are not legal in Australia, and after seeing numerous stores on the way we decided to stop in and buy some. Nashville was a great experience. There's so much to do in such a short time. This time we saw the Country Music Hall of Fame, Tennessee Titans stadiums, ate at a Hard Rock cafe, saw some country music on the street corner, saw the replica of the Parthenon, and even visited Jack Daniels. I'm lucky enough to be taking a class called Shotgun Sports. To me this sums up the Southern culture. Everyone in my class drives a massive truck and loves hunting. In this class I've been able to shoot many different types of shotguns and handguns, which is an experience I've never had before. The next thing we knew, it was spring break. We were lucky enough to go on a tour of the Clemson Tigers Stadium and facilities the day before the spring practice game. The tour was a massive eye-opener to us, as the facilities here for the athletes are better than our professional ones back in Australia. It's a great honour to be able to do this tour, as many of the Tigers die-hard fans have not been into the facilities. The next day was the spring practice game, which was a crazy day. The culture of Clemson was on show this day. The town lives for football. The roads were virtually at a standstill, and everywhere you looked there was a sea of orange. Walking to the game, people were cooking barbecues in the car park and listening to the pre-game radio show. The whole town came to a standstill, and it was only a spring. Come visit me in New York. This was vastly different to the southern culture I'd become accustomed to. The ethnicity was different, and instead of trucks dominating the street, taxis were. There was so much happening in the city at such a fast pace. We were there for 7 days and still did not see half of the city. It was a fun trip doing all the touristy things with my family, who I hadn't seen in 4 months. Seeing the Statue of Liberty, Empire State Building, going to a Yankees game, and going to Central Park, just to name a few things. I was excited to arrive back at Clemson, but at the same time a little sad, as it was coming to the end of the semester. Looking back on my experience at Clemson, I'm very privileged to have had this opportunity. I've loved the experience of studying here. It's been a life-changing experience, learning about a different culture. I've also met a lot of new people and made some lifelong friendships.